Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Langtree Charter Academy Class of 2023. To honor America, please rise for the singing of our national anthem, being performed by Langtree's very own Alex Amundsen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, we're so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. I would like to introduce our Upper Campus Assistant Principal, Mrs. Miranda Day.
Thank you, Alex. Students, you may be seated. It is my honor to introduce our platform guests in attendance for today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until all guests have been recognized. Guests, please stand as your name is called. Shane Liss, Upper Campus and Lead Principal. Renee Hay, Upper Campus Associate Principal. Yours truly, Upper Campus Assistant Principal. Madison Smith, Upper Campus Counselor. Amber Winter, Upper Campus Counselor. Your CSUSA State Team members. David Machado, State Superintendent. Margaret Nanpon, State Director. Andreas Castillo, Senior IT Manager, Carolinas. Nicole Sanfilippo, Instructional Support Specialist. And our esteemed NCCEF board members. Beth Compton, James Fonseca, Chad Metzler, Kelly Milligan. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming our guests. As seniors, you have worked diligently to make these past years ones you will remember. Certainly, the most important part of this year is now. On behalf of our seniors at Langtree Charter Academy, we are requesting that all in attendance help us to make this special commencement a memorable and dignified ceremony. It is our desire that your commencement ceremony reflect the honor and respectability of this important day. Now, I would like to introduce our Upper Campus Associate Principal, Mrs. Renee Hay.
It is my honor to introduce the Langtree Charter Academy Class of 2023 salutatorian. He is best described as hardworking, kind, and humble. This student plans to attend Davidson College as a Questbridge Scholar on a full scholarship. He plans to pursue a career in veterinary science. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Class of 2023 salutatorian, James Allen.
Hello, and good evening to family, teachers, staff, and all my fellow students. Thank you to all our family and friends who took time out of their busy schedules to watch the Langtree Class of 2023 graduate. I'll try to keep this speech short, which, as anyone who's ever sat through one of my presentations knows, is about 20 minutes. In all seriousness, I will try to keep this short and sweet. As you all know, today represents an immense accomplishment for all of us. We should all be so proud of how much we have accomplished. And in all our years of school, whether you made straight A's or just happy to pass, graduating is a great achievement for all of us. As we stand here today, we all prepare to walk different paths. Some of us are attending a four-year university, some of us are going to community college, some trade school, some the military, and some right into the workforce. Though our futures may end up being different, I have hope that all of our futures will be bright. And just as we prepare to walk different paths, we have come from different backgrounds. Some of you came from Mooresville, others came from elsewhere. We even came to Langtree at different times. Some braved the beginning years of the lower school, while some of you came in the middle of high school. Yet despite these different backgrounds, we still achieved the same goal, graduation. Of course, none of us would be here today without the support of others. Whether it's the family that raised you, the teachers that taught you and helped you through your most difficult of assignments, the staff and admins that held the school together, or the friends who supported you and lent you assignments you were missing, we have had so many people supporting us in our high school journey. The path to graduation wasn't easy. We all faced down challenges, whether personal or several hours worth of assignment after only missing one day of school. Even Langtree itself has faced challenges. I remember back in 6th grade, when the upper campus opened up, there was still holes in the ceiling with wires hanging out. Though in spite of these challenges, we finally made it to the end. And now the only holes in the ceiling are when Ms. Acuff's art class paints ceiling tiles in the art room. Of course, we all faced one big challenge at the end of our freshman year. We collectively took a 2-week break at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Though as it turned out, 2 weeks was a bit more like a year and a half of virtual learning. As a result, we all sort of skipped half of 9th grade and all of our sophomore years, spending both behind a screen, separated from our friends and teachers. While we all faced individual challenges as a result of the pandemic and our year and a half hiatus from in-person school, we were still able to make it through, and I hope all of you are extremely proud of yourselves. Now, at long last, senior year has finally come to a close, even for those of you that had to make up seat time. there are no more long school days, no more assignments, and no more early mornings, at least now until we start college and our new jobs. Though for now, we stand here today at graduation, looking back at all our accomplishments along the way, and thus concludes part 1 of my 10-part speech. No, but seriously, thank you all for listening here today, and congratulations to the class of 2023. It's finally over.
Thank you, James. At this time, I would like to introduce the Langtree Charter Academy Class of 2023 Student Council President, Matthew Carteropoli. He is described by his teachers as athletic, outgoing, and innovative. He plans to attend Appalachian State University. We all wish him the best in his future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Class of 2023 Class President, Matthew Carteropoli.
I'm going to tell my kids one day when one of you guys cure cancer that I'm the one that inspired you with this speech. There we go. Let's see if we can find mine. All righty. Good evening, students, staff, parents, distinguished guests, and undistinguished guests. For those of you who don't know me, I am Matthew Carteropoli, and as Student Council President, I've been asked to speak to all of you this evening. And while I may like some of you, I really don't want to be up here any longer than I have to be, so we're going to make this short as possible. Now, when I won the Student Council election back in November, Mr. List and Ms. Hartzell called me down to the front office to tell me that I would be a part of numerous different speeches and events, and one of those, of course, was today, graduation. And like every other assignment in my high school career, I started it the night before it was due. Now, I want to start off this speech with a quote for 2 reasons. 1, because quotes can have deep meaning, and 2, because every good speech has a quote. Now, the quote that I've picked out for today's speech is from multi-award-winning philanthropist, 17-time Grammy nominee, Skechers representative, and many of you may know him as Martha Stewart's best friend, Snoop Dogg. Now, Snoop Dogg says, if it's flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, be the best hamburger flipper in the world. Whatever it is you do, you have to master your craft. Now, I think this is great and practical advice as we move on to our next stages of life and figure out what we will master. And plus, it was about the only school and church appropriate quote that Snoop Dogg has. Now, when I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about, I knew that just because me and my friends can make a funny campaign video to win votes, it puts me in no place to give you guys advice on life. So like any other person would do, I went online and searched up graduation speeches to try and get some ideas. And unfortunately, every single last one of them was an inspirational speech. And if any of you have seen me on the golf course, I'm about the furthest thing from inspirational. So I kept digging. And every time you're on the internet late at night, of course, you go down a rabbit hole. And I stumbled upon those videos of kids in the 90s filming their last days of high school on a camcorder. And I figured, like, these are useless. I'm too far down the rabbit hole. But they're sitting there at 2 a.m., I thought to myself that we may have not experienced high school like them, but we experienced it in our own way. Whether it was playing games in Mr. Whaley's class during lunch and calling it lunch club so that we didn't get in trouble, or playing chess in class and having paper airplane contest with the work we were supposed to be doing, or many other things that I probably just shouldn't admit in front of this many people. But we did have our own version of high school. We had the luxury version of high school because we got to sleep through class in our own beds. Now, I did want to touch on change because this is a day of celebration, but it is also a day of great change. It marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. As we prepare to leave behind the familiar and embark on new adventures, it's important to remember that change is an inevitable part of life. It can be scary, but it can also be exciting. We've spent years learning, growing. We've made friends, faced challenges, and discovered who we are. But now it's time to take what we've learned and apply it to the real world. Some of us will be heading off to college, while others will be entering the workforce or pursuing other paths. Whatever our past may be, we will be offered new opportunities and face new challenges. We will be forced to adapt, learn new skills, and grow in a way that we've never imagined. But that's what life's all about. Change is what makes us stronger, more resilient, and new people, and we can make a difference in this world. So as we prepare to take the next step in our journey, let's embrace change with open arms. Let's be fearless in the face of the unknown, and let's never stop learning, growing, and evolving. Because success is not based on a paycheck or how big your house is. It's based on the impact you leave on this world. Now, these opportunities don't come very often, so I'm going to take a second in front of all of you to thank my parents sitting over there. Mom, Dad, thank you for everything. Thank you. Everything that I've done in my life would not have been possible without y'all. Thank you for making all my sports dreams possible. Thank you for making me stay on top of my grades, even though you annoyed the crap out of me. Thank you for letting me get knocked down so that I could learn myself. And also, thank you for letting me spend way too much of your money. As I conclude this speech, I would also like to thank my siblings for kicking my butt and really teaching me what it's like to be the baby of the family. I would like to thank my friends for keeping me in line, in and out of school. And I would also like to thank James for lending this homework when my homework was late. I love you, James. I would also like to thank my grandparents, counselors, teachers, custodians, Nurse Heather, and of course the front office ladies. I love you, Miss Kathy, wherever you are. So since all good speeches contain great quotes, let me leave you with one more. The great Kanye West says in his album conveniently titled Graduation, "From the moments of pain, look how far we have came. Haters saying you changed, now you're doing your thing. Good morning." Congratulations, class of 2023, and thank you all.
Thank you, Matthew. For our final student address, I am honored to introduce the Langtree Charter Academy Class of 2023 Valedictorian. The Valedictorian Award is the highest honor a student can receive while in high school. The valedictorian ranks first in academic achievement and is considered the top student of his or her class. Not only is this student the top student of her class, she is graduating with the highest weighted GPA in Langtree's history. This student is described by her friends and teachers as gracious, determined, and dedicated. She plans to attend Florida International University. We all wish her the best in her future endeavors. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the class of 2023 valedictorian, Sydney Soto.
Thank you, and good evening. It is my honor to welcome families, teachers, administration, staff, and of course, my fellow students to Langtree's Class of 2023 graduation ceremony. Every one of you has made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. I only got to experience Langtree for my last 2 years of high school, but I am forever grateful for the experiences and connections I made here. While I wish we could all have more time here, we must move on to even greater experiences. I'd like to give thanks to all of the parents and families here who have supported this graduating class. From taking our first steps, finding our way through the maze of middle school, making friends, losing friends, late nights of procrastinated homework, and finally graduating from high school. You have been there every step of the way, offering support when we needed it, even when that meant letting us figure things out on our own. Thank you to all of the teachers for guiding us along the journey of high school from one year to the next. You taught us how to write essays, how to find the mysterious value of X, that mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell, and that learning history can be fun. Our teachers helped us through the entirety of our capstone project in only 1 year. Capstone taught many of us the important skill of time management, or how to write an 8-page essay, including the research, in half a day. Thank you, Mr. Laughinghouse. I still might not understand much about physics, but your class was one of my most enjoyable. Also, thank you, Ms. Clark, for making AP classes less stressful while still fully preparing every student for the exam. Also, thank you, Ms. Malgiri, for teaching our small calculus class of only 5. Hopefully, we all pass the exam. I'd also like to thank our administration and staff. Your work may not always be recognized, but we would not be able to function as a school without you. Working behind the scenes to keep our school safe, running smoothly, and to offer as much support as possible to us students. And finally, thank you to my fellow students. Without the support of one another, it would have been a hard task to make it through 4 years of high school. There's a strength and resilience among you all that is shown by your presence here today. From helping each other understand content to convincing Mr. Whaley to let us play one more round of GeoGuessr, we found ways to make each day of school fun and memorable. When I was announced as valedictorian at our senior awards dinner, I realized that I truly had to write a speech for graduation. I couldn't just pretend that it didn't exist and that it would magically disappear. It was real, and I had to write it. Graduation speeches are supposed to be inspirational, memorable, and fun. Otherwise, they fall into the boring category and are usually quickly forgotten. Thus, I spent multiple days planning and writing the speech to create the best one possible. But that would be a lie because I wrote the speech on the last day before it was due. I realized that the reason I had procrastinated this speech was that I was scared of it not being perfect or memorable, and also scared of saying it in front of a crowd. I was waiting for the right opportunity to present itself, waiting for that moment when inspiration would strike and I could actually write the speech. But the days kept ticking away, and the next thing I knew, I only had 1 day left to write this speech. The right day or moment did not come. I was still scared to write this speech, but I wrote it anyways. I compete in the sport of diving. No, not scuba diving, and no, it's most definitely not the same thing as swimming. I essentially jump and flip off of high things into water. When most people see the sport of diving, they think that divers must not have fear. They think that we are not afraid when we do a dive off a platform 30 feet in the air. How else could we do what we do if we were afraid of it? But divers do feel and experience fear quite often. The difference lies in how we choose to deal with that fear. Nelson Mandela once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." Divers acknowledge that fear they feel, and yet they don't let it stop them from achieving their goals. If this concept is used every day by divers, then why not apply it to our everyday life? If you're scared, do it anyways. Was I scared of writing a graduation speech and speaking to a large crowd? Yes, I'm terrified of doing that. Yet here I am, still giving a speech, even though it scares me. Are you scared of going to college? Then do it scared. Are you scared of going in for that job interview you want? Then do it scared. Don't let your fear stop you from reaching your goals. Doing it scared doesn't always lead to success. Sometimes you might still fall short, but the only true failure that you can ever experience is letting fear stop you from the chance to try. So do it scared. Most of you probably won't remember this speech in the next couple of days or the next week, month, or year. What you should remember, however, is the journey that brought you to this point, the fear that you were able to push through to get here today. I'm so excited to see what each and every one of us accomplish in our futures. Good luck, class of 2023, and thank you. Also, Mr. Stewart, I'm still waiting on that breakfast you promised.
Thank you, Sydney. I am proud and honored to introduce our Upper Campus Principal, Mr. Liss.
Thank you, James, Matthew, and Sydney. Today is an exciting day. Congratulations to each of you for being here today. Despite the challenges you faced to get here, each of you overcame them and persevered to be here. We have already had so many great lessons shared this evening. James spoke of overcoming challenges. Matthew spoke of the change monumental days like today brings. And Sydney, the North Carolina State Championship diver and valedictorian, spoke of overcoming our fears. I am proud of the lessons these student leaders shared with you tonight. As many of you know, my wife and I have 3 children at Langtree. As a father, I'm prone to corny dad jokes, sharing folksy life lessons, and speaking from my heart. I also have 82 children I think of as my own, and they're graduating today. I think of you not as your parent, but as your steward of your formative years. As such, I've actively directed your school affairs since you were in middle school. We laughed together. We cried together. We worked hard together. And we played together. All of this was done in preparation for this moment. It is with great excitement and a hint of sadness that our time together comes to a close tonight. This provides me one last chance to give you advice that will assist you on the next leg of your journey. My charge is simple, but not easy. Make a difference. Be the best person you can be every day. The world needs more good people. Get up early. Work hard every day. Don't be average. Be extraordinary. Let your work stand for itself. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." Believe in yourself. Self-fulfilling prophecies are real. Always try to make the right decision and the right choice. And know that no matter what or how you decide, someone will think that you made the wrong decision or wrong choice. Never argue with dissenting voices. Share your point of view and the reasons you made your decision. Only one person can decide how many arguments you get into in your life. That person is you. Never assume there's only one way to solve a problem. Listen with intent to learn. Never presume you have all the facts. Always seek to know more. Never tear down others' work or other people. Be a builder, not a demolition expert. At Langtree, you received a strong foundation. Now build without limitations upon that foundation. Never stop learning. Never stop listening. Take others' point of view into consideration. If you choose a life chasing fortune and glory, you will never stop chasing it. there will always be more over the next horizon. Choose a life doing what you love, and you will never work a day in your life. Don't put off your goals and dreams. There will never be a perfect time to embark on the journey toward achieving them. Don't ever let anyone tell you you can't. There are no more bittersweet words than what might have been. Don't use artificial intelligence to write your words. Be courageous. Use your own authentic voice. For many of you, very soon, you are about to be on your own for the first time in your lives. Make safe decisions and safe choices. Don't be afraid to ask for help on the tough ones. Your parents' life experience is not to be underestimated. Many times, they can see the potential pitfalls before you do. Seek their counsel. Heed their advice. No matter what goes wrong, and inevitably, at some point, things will go wrong. There's always a silver lining. Focus on the positive. Find the life lesson. Remember it, and be better for it. Reflect on your actions and decisions each night. Replay the day in your mind. What would you have done differently? Adjust for tomorrow. Give twice as many compliments as you do criticisms. Work to make things better for others. Be selfless, not self-serving. Demonstrate positivity and excitement regardless of the task at hand. Be the leaders you have been taught to be. Be lions. Others will follow you. On our seal, you will find the words purpose, passion, integrity, grit. Find your purpose. It is the one you are passionate about. Always do what's right, even when no one is looking. Tell your truth without fear of consequences. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Then you will know you have integrity. Fail forward, get up, dust yourself off, try again. That is grit. Here at Langtree, we say, once a lion, always a lion. Please come back and visit with us. Be the shining examples of what alumni of Langtree can be. Foster a path for those who will follow you. Make a difference. Junior marshals, please prepare our graduates. As our graduates move into place to receive their diplomas, I would like to share some highlights from this amazing class of 2023. Amongst our graduates, we have 5 NCAA student athletes, 2 full-ride scholarships, over 230 college acceptances all across the country, from Colorado to Florida. 4 students enlisting in the United States military, 5 students actively pursuing career licensure or trade certifications, and over $4 million in scholarships. Way to go, class of 2023. At this time, I would like to invite our school counselors, Mrs. Amber Winter and Miss Madison Smith, to the podium for the presentation of diplomas.
James Edmund Allen. Danielle Marie Allen. Aaliyah Amor Anaya. Alexis McKay Anderson. Alexi Anita Barrow. Zachary Mark Baunock. Alexis Rose Binge. Luke Michael Benstead. Samaya Bint Muhammad. Suhaila Bint Muhammad. William Benton Bowen IV. Adrian Clark Brewer. Matthew Thomas Carteropoli. Parker Davis Karn. Nicholas Austin Chen. Emily Nicole Clark. Alex Christian DeLeo. Sean Randall E. Dixon. Anna Lee Edmonds. Emma Louise Elcock. Natalie Page Elia. Derek Eugene Eisenhart. Ethan Philip Fama. Alexander Antonio Franco. Chase Anthony Galbraith. Evelyn Renee Gardner. Brennan Michael Gelpke. Benjamin Stephen Jagier. Hudson Paul Glasscock. Kiana Marie Gonzalez. Nathan Shane Michael Graham. Jeremiah Chiao Hager. Jace William Harris. Natalie Therese Hofsis. Jenna Marie Hornick. Garrett Tate Horton. Lucas Anthony Hudson. Wesley Michael Henson. Dayton Michael James. Hava Leah Jane. Chloe Marie Jeggers. Elliot Reed Jones.
Jordan Lee Kilgore. Jael Michael Lopez Marrero. Amen Majid Madir. Emery Ann McCallum. Colin Pierce Mans. Ava Marie Magnanti. Owen David Mans. Ryan Bradley McCloskey. Skylar Bell McClure. Nicholas Lee McGee. Zoe Elizabeth McIntyre. Nina Lauren McLeod. Landon Jasper Metzler. Alexa Brooke Militello. Aiden Jared Molliver. Anna Isabella Montero Silva. Madeline Grace Nestor. J. Scott Newcomb. Devin Luke Nortier. Jessica Ann Amundsen. Jacob Scott Robeson. Nadine Michelle Sanchez. Matthew Dominic Scarnato. Helen Arlette Saralde Zacanet. Aiden Michael Sherrill. Vaughn Norman Seamers. Madison Renee Smith. Sydney Lane Soto. Xavier Rafael Soto. Logan Samuel Story. Taylor Brock Surratt. Cameron Renee Turner. Kiara Eileen Viales. Nathan John Walk. Brian Joseph Webb III. Annabelle Florence Wheeler. Aaliyah Mackenzie Hightower Wilkinson. Chloe Gabriella Williams. Alyssa Naomi Yarbrough. Dylan Ray Yoder. At this time, I would like to welcome back to the podium our lead principal, Mr. Liss, and associate principal, Ms. Hay.
Seniors, please rise. Mr. Liss, I'm proud to present to you Langtree Charter Academy, class of 2023. Each student assembled here has completed all requirements as set forth by Langtree Charter Academy and the state of North Carolina, and is hereby entitled to receive a high school diploma or certificate of completion.
By the authority vested in me by the state of North Carolina, I pronounce upon those of you who have completed the necessary requirements, graduates of Langtree Charter Academy, and confer upon each of you all rights and privileges thereto. Congratulations. At this time, graduates, please move your tassels from right to left to signify this rite of passage. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of Langtree Charter Academy, class of 2023.